Hi guys, we started these notes in second hour today and ran out of time, so we're going to pick up right where we left off. I will briefly recap the two things that we have written and then we will move on. We are beginning photosynthesis. Nearly all living things obtain energy either directly or indirectly from the sun. That energy is captured from the sun during the process of photosynthesis. Okay, the technical definition is the process by which a cell captures energy in sunlight and uses it to make food. Okay, so it captures that energy from the sun and uses it to make food. Now, plants, like grass, they use their energy from the sun to make their own food, and so they are called autotrophs. You may remember that term from earlier this year whenever we started talking about ecology. So plants, such as grass, use energy from the sun to make its own food. Therefore, it is called an autotroph. It is called an autotroph. Okay, organisms that make their own food are called autotrophs. All other organisms that have to eat autotrophs are called heterotrophs. Okay, so animals, like caterpillars, obtain their energy by eating that grass, by eating those living things. Okay, we can form a food chain if we trace the transfer of energy from that grass to a caterpillar. That caterpillar could be eaten by a bird. Okay, those organisms that are eating others, that are eating other organisms, are called heterotroph. So I'm going to switch to another colored pen so that it's easier for you to distinguish what to write. The caterpillar obtains energy from eating the grass. Okay, and the bird obtains energy by feeding on the caterpillar. All right, we're going to draw a food chain at the bottom of this chunk. Okay, so don't worry, it'll make a little bit more sense. Okay, these organisms which cannot make their own food are called heterotrophs. Okay, so let's draw a food chain. So we start with some grass, which is then eaten by a caterpillar. I'm going to do my best to draw a caterpillar. It's probably not going to look great, but we'll see. Okay, so there's our caterpillar, and it gets eaten by a bird. Okay, this is probably going to look even less like a bird than the caterpillar. Looking like a caterpillar, so let's see. There's the beak, there's the head. Oh, he doesn't have any tail feathers. Let's fix that. There we go. And he's green, apparently. Okay, so there's our bird. Okay, that's our food chain. The energy goes from the sun, which I forgot to draw over here. So sun to grass, to caterpillar, to bird. So the sun is our ultimate source of energy. Okay, so the energy that the bird is getting came from the caterpillar, which ate the grass, which got its energy from the sun. Okay, I'm going to flip the page because I'm not going to have enough room to write here. Okay, and also because it's easier to write on camera, I'm going to do it on this side, but I recommend that you write yours over here so that you don't run out of pages before the end of the school year. Okay, during photosynthesis, autotrophs use the sun's energy to convert carbon dioxide and water into oxygen and sugar. During photosynthesis, autotrophs, remember those are the organisms that make their own energy, use the sun's energy to convert carbon dioxide, which can be written as CO2, and water, which can be written as H2O. It's converting those two things into oxygen gas, which is actually two oxygen molecules, two oxygen atoms bonded together to form one molecule. Okay, so that is what we actually breathe, O2. So it's converted into oxygen gas and sugars. And it's a very specific sugar. It is called glucose, and its formula is C6H12O6. Okay, that is something that you are going to learn either this year or next year. You're going to have to memorize that glucose is C6H12O6. Now, it's not just something that I'm going to expect you to know off the top of your head. We're going to work with that molecule a lot. Okay, so don't worry. By the end of this chapter, you will know what sugar is, what the chemical formula is for it. Now, there's an easier way to write this sentence here. Okay, it is using a chemical equation. All right, so we're going to use 6 carbon dioxide molecules, and we're going to add them to 6 water molecules. And we're going to go through a chemical reaction with sunlight, and that's going to give us a sugar, our glucose, our C6H12O6, and it's going to give us 6 molecules of oxygen gas. Okay, so this is our carbon dioxide. This is the water. We put those together with sunlight. Sometimes sunlight is written to the left of the arrow. It's not written above it. It means the same thing. Okay, so carbon dioxide, water, and sunlight are used to make glucose, or sugar, and oxygen gas. Okay, so there's the broad overview. There are 2 parts of photosynthesis. Okay, there are 2 stages. Okay, in stage 1, oh, I spelled stage wrong. I'll sneak an E in there. Stage 1, this is when the energy is captured by the sun. Okay, so we're going to divide this into 2. And then in stage 2 is the process of using that energy from the sun to make the food. Okay, so we're going to start stage 1, capturing the sun's energy. Okay, this process occurs mostly in leaves. Occurs mostly in leaves. Basically, any green part of your plant is where photosynthesis is going to happen. Okay? The organelle that does it is called the chloroplast. So chloroplast in plant cells capture energy using something called a photosynthetic pigment. Okay, that's a big word. That means it absorbs sunlight. So it is a pigment, a molecule in the chloroplast that captures the sun's energy. Okay, and that pigment is called chlorophyll. All right, and chlorophyll is found inside that chloroplast. Okay, I know that those two words are very similar and it could get confusing, but we're going to do our best to keep that from happening. And this energy that is captured is used to power stage 2. Energy is used to power stage 2. Okay, and this is when we are using energy to make food. Okay, stage 1, we captured the energy. Stage 2, we're going to use it. Okay, in this, cells need water and carbon dioxide. Okay, cells need water and carbon dioxide for this stage. Okay, the CO2 enters, leaves through something called the stomata. Okay, don't freak out. We're going to go into more detail about what the stomata are. Okay, they are openings in the leaf that allow those gases to go in and out. They let the carbon dioxide in and the oxygen out. Okay, we're going to talk more about that. Don't worry. Water enters through the roots. Okay, that carbon dioxide and water undergo a chemical reaction. Undergo a chemical reaction. In the chloroplast to produce sugar. Remember, that's our C6H12O6, and oxygen, which exits through the stomata. Alright guys, that is it for the notes. Alright, make sure that you get all these written down. You will have a short quiz over it tomorrow. So if you have any questions, shoot me an email and I'll do my best to get back to you quickly. Bye guys.